Okay, welcome, week 4. So as I was explaining to everybody a little bit earlier, this is where we start to put everything together. So we've been being pretty specific on different body parts up to this point, but now we're going to put everything together into like a 35-40 minute routine. And these are all just tools that you can use in the future to kind of pick and choose. So if you do have any tight areas, whenever you're going through all these stretches that we're going to do today, if you notice your hips are tight, you can go back, pick and choose what exercises that you've liked and incorporate that into your daily routine until you notice a difference. So until you loosen up those hips, loosen up the low back, upper back, neck, all of that. So yeah, let's get going. Let me get this set up and we'll start with our warm up. Okay. Scoot it back just a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do to start is we're just going to do some shoulder rolls backwards. So up, back, and down. We're going to do 20 of these. Nice and easy. Don't go forwards. I think I've said this before. Forwards is bad posture. Backwards is good posture. Squeezing them up, back and down. Do about 10 more. Okay, and then after this, we're going to get into some neck circles, so just nice and easy. Rotate all the way through that full range. We're going to do 10 circles clockwise, 10 circles counterclockwise. Just getting things moving for the warm up. Going all the way back to week 1 with this one. All right, and then we'll go back that opposite way. Get some, I call it gristle, little pops and creaks. Keep going with those. Yeah, so to answer your question, do them all one way and then switch. Just a little more smooth to go one way, kind of get used to that, and then work that other way out. Good question though. All right, so should have about 10 each way, and then what we're going to do is go all the way onto your back. You're going to start with your palm up, facing the ceiling, and we're going to do some arm circles. So nice and slow, all the way around, touching the ground the whole time until you rotate and touch the opposite shoulder. And you're going to rotate all the way back, touch the hip. So once you get up to about this range right here, about shoulder height, you're going to have to rotate your hand so that your thumb rotates and you can keep touching. Unless you have really mobile shoulders, then it might be easy for you. But my shoulders are not that mobile. Yeah, and take notes on this. See if there's a certain area where you're getting hung up. And then that shows you where you need to work for mobility-wise to stretch that out. So if you're getting stuck right up here, feel where you're feeling that in the shoulder. Is it down through here? Is it up in the top? Because then you'll need to stretch in that opposite direction. So if it's down here, you'll do a cross body stretch to fix that. Let's do one more. Up and over, and then we'll switch and do the other side. room. We'll do 5 of those. We're going up and back. And then after this, we're going to foam roll. We're going to do lots of foam rolling. We get to put everything together. So we're going to foam roll thoracic spine. We're going to foam roll the glutes and the hips, and then we're going to foam roll the quads today. All right, we'll do one more. Good. Let you guys finish those out. Okay, so now everybody grab foam roller. We're going to start with thoracic spine. So we're going to go bottom of the shoulder blades on the foam roller, hands behind the head. Go up into that bridge position. So squeeze those glutes, lift up off the ground so that that pressure is right through the upper back. We're just going to spend about 30 seconds rolling up and down. Through there. This is the meat tenderizer. Feel for those tender spots, and once you feel one of those tender spots, you can kind of do some smaller movements right on that too if you want. Try to focus more on those spots though. If it feels good, it's healthy tissue. If it doesn't feel so good, then you've got a knot, trigger point, fascial tightness, something that's holding it up right there. Unless it really hurts, then that's an injury. That's something different. Okay, so that should be about 30 seconds. You're going to go all the way to the bottom of your shoulder blades. Drop your butt down to the ground now. And then just extend back over that foam roller. Couple deep breaths. Try to relax as much as you can. Now as you breathe and relax, you should be able to sink farther into extension. Mini sit-up. You're going to slide the foam roller up towards your head about a ½ inch. So think about just moving one vertebrae up. And then same thing, sink back over that foam roller. A few deep breaths there. We'll do one more. So one more vertebrae up, another ½ inch. Sink over. Nice deep breath. And relax down. Okay, now let's work back down towards the tailbone. ½ inch down. I've got a really good trigger point right here, so I'm going to kind of lean into that right side because that's where it's at. And then I'm going to extend back over it. So right now I'm extending kind of back and to the right. If you have the same thing that I'm having, one of those trigger points, you can lean towards that side. If not, just go straight back. Okay. And then one more time down at the bottom of the shoulder blades again. Extend back over that. All right, then let's take the roller and we're gonna sit on it right on that glute area. So start with the right side, get it right across the glutes, lean back onto the hand, cross that leg over, and then you're gonna lean onto that right glute area. So it should be the outer upper part of the hip. And we're just gonna roll back and forth on that. Spend about 30 seconds. Shouldn't feel good if you're on a good spot. Might burn, might be achy, but that's what we're trying to loosen up, those tender spots. And then one of the other things that we talked about that you can do is you can do those rotations while you're on a good spot. Find a good trigger point, get right on that spot, and do about 10 rotations. So just lifting that knee up and down. So this is an active release technique. All right, then let's switch. That other side, crossover. 30 seconds on that one. Left side's tight too. I was cracking up because I've been in quarantine. Well, we've all been in quarantine for X amount of days, and went out and swung a golf club for the first time in a while, and woke up the next day and it's like, why am I so sore? What's going on? Did I overstretch? And forgot that I swung a golf club. So I was making fun of myself. I was like, oh, I'm out of shape. So this is like go-to for those glutes right now. Okay, and then let's do 10 of those active movements. Finish those up. And then next, we'll go into rolling the quads. I'm not sure if we did this last time or not, but if we didn't, I'll still explain how to do it. You're gonna go foam roller right on the top of the legs right here. You're gonna be in a little bit of a plank position like that. So most of your weight is going through the top of the legs in the foam roller. And you're gonna roll all the way down to within like maybe an inch or two of the knee. Don't go too close to the patella, otherwise it won't feel great. But I want to spend a little time working on the quads. So I want you to kind of roll your legs out first. So your hips should be in a little bit of external rotation. You're going to roll up and down like that, and you'll feel that through more of your adductors and the medial part of your quads. Then about 10, 15 seconds doing that. And then you'll bring everything more neutral, so straight up. You'll roll through top of the quads now. About 20 seconds of that, just up and down, nice and easy. This one's really tender on me too. Probably tender for everybody. Again, find those tender spots and just mash those. And then for the lateral part of the quad, you'll have to kind of rotate a little bit. And if this hurts your shoulders, just skip this one for right now. Spend about 15 seconds and then hit the other side. So right now I'm working on my left side, and then I'm gonna kind of shift my weight to the right, and I'll hit the lateral part of my right quad. Let's hit that other side. Don't get this confused with your IT band. Don't roll the outside of the leg. We don't want to roll IT band. We've actually found that you can't really stretch an IT band, and mashing just makes it worse. So rolling through the quads, rolling through the hamstrings, but don't roll that IT band. Good. Should be nice and tender after that. Okay. So foam rolling, we just foam rolled thoracic spine, glutes, quads. Now let's get into, we're gonna kind of break everything up by section, but it should flow pretty good. We'll start with the upper back, we'll start with thoracic spine. Let's start with the openers on your side. So again, bottom leg straight, top leg over the top, hands out in front, and just rotating as far as you can, back and forth, nice and slow. You're gonna do 10 of those. You can watch your hand the whole time. All right, let's switch, hit the other side. Sorry, I'm gonna turn and face away from you guys so I can hit this side. Bottom leg straight, top leg over the top, hands out. Rotate, 10 of those. Okay. Nice and slow. Come up to hands and knees. You're gonna sit back. Move this a little bit. So you'll be on hands and knees right here. Hand behind the head, sit back onto the heels. We'll do those rotations. We'll do 10 each way. Really focus on getting as much stretch in that upper back as you can. If you feel it more in the top of your feet, just kind of unweight a little bit more and just sit back as far as you can that you're comfortable with. You can still get a good rotation. If you're having pain in the shoulders, go hand behind the back and rotate like that. So let's do 10 of those on each side. Should have about 10 on the right. We'll do the left. Couple more. All right, and then we'll unweight off those feet, and we'll get into the cat-cows. So working on flexion, extension of the spine. Push that thoracic spine up, get that stretch. Let those shoulder blades relax, let everything sink down. We're gonna do 15 of these. Good stretch with each one. One more. Okay, and then let's go onto your back. And we'll do the double knees to chest. We're gonna start on some low back stuff. So knees up to the chest, pull until you feel that lumbar spine starting to come off the ground just a little bit. Up, rock into it. We'll do 10 of these. Nice and slow. Okay, should have about 10. And then you're gonna hold those knees up there and we're gonna hit it from the other side. We're gonna do a little crunch into it. So knees up towards the chest, crunch in, back. Flexing that lumbar spine from the top. Might feel a little bit of an ab workout too. We're doing this more for mobility. Make sure you're breathing. Do a couple more. Down nice and slow. Roll onto your side. We'll do lumbar rolls. So same thing as the thoracic rotations. Bottom leg straight, top leg over. Hold this leg down with your bottom hand, and then just rotate nice and slow. Those shoulders, you can open with your arm too if you want. I just like to rotate just with the shoulders relaxed. You should feel that stretch through the back. We'll do 10 of those nice and slow, and then we'll flip and do 10 the other way nice and slow. Before we did a hold, today we're just going to do some rotations. And again, the lower you have your knee, the lower in the back you should feel this. Okay, now we'll switch. 10 on the other side. Couple more. Ooh, there's a good pop. Okay. And then we'll go up into the 90-90 position. So should look like this right here. And you're just going to rotate the opposite direction and then rotate back. Rotate left. Rotate right as far as you can. Do 10 and then we'll switch. Okay, let's switch now. 90-90 the opposite way. We'll do 10 this way, so right and left. Getting all kinds of pops now. Things are letting go. In my back though, I want to feel this in my hips a little bit more. But my back's so tight that that's getting on tension first. But as long as it's letting go. Okay, should have about 10 of those. Let everybody finish up real quick. Next is going to be it's going to be different. It's going to be something new. We've done the Jefferson stretch, which was the forward bending to the ground with the reverse toe touch. Today we're going to work on more of a hip hinge, so it's almost like a Romanian deadlift. We're not doing deadlifts, don't worry. It's more of just focusing on the hip hinge though. So everybody will stand up. Position to where you can see me. Okay, so a little bit of a knee bend to start. Act like you're holding something out in front. And I want you to just hinge down at the waist like that. So my back's staying straight. Get this on a little better angle for everybody. Okay, so feet flat, knees bent, then all I'm doing is my butt's going back staying straight. I'm going all the way down as far as my hamstrings will let me. So back straight the whole time. I'm gonna hang out in that position for a little bit. If you could go all the way to the ground like this, awesome. If you're a tight dude like me or a tight chick like somebody else, then just go as far as you can. Then back up, squeeze your glutes on the way up. Some people get a little bit of grab in their back with this, so make sure that you squeeze the glutes at the top. Down. So different than the Jefferson stretch because we're keeping our back straight this time. And then we're going down as far as those hamstrings back through here. Let us back up, squeeze the glutes. My hands are almost dragging on my shins or sliding on my shins as I'm going down. Squeeze the glutes on the way up. If you're getting any back pain with this, either focus on more of a glute activation or just skip it. And we'll talk about it later. You just tell me if you had back pain with it. I could tell you an alternative. So kind of like a good morning, kind of like a deadlift, but more just a good hamstring hip mobility stretch. Let's do a couple more. I apologize about the camera angle. I had to switch things up last minute, my room being closed. So I'm operating in limited space with all of my sanitation equipment up here. This room's nice and clean. Okay, that should be about 10. If not, I'll let you finish those up. And then next, we're going to work on some hip mobility. How are we doing on time? Doing pretty good. I think this will be the last one that we do. We'll end on a good one. So we're going to do, this is called the hip matrix. So we're going to do 4 different quadrants. Okay, so you're going to do 2 different movements for each hip. I'll face this way and do it. So facing this way. Show you my feet a little bit more. Okay, so you're going to step back in behind and go down into a little bit of a lunge. If I have the room, it'd be like this, back and behind. Gonna really test that hip, see how much hip flexion you can get and how much rotation you can go into. and then come back. And then you'll go into up and out, testing the opposite one. So we're going on this diagonal pattern. It's down and back, up and out. Then you'll switch, down and back. So it's this crossover move, like that. If you have any pain with this, let me know at the end. We can talk about it. And then up and back. And then this way. So let's do about 5 of these on each side. Push back. Cross. Down. This is a big move with the Gray Institute. I don't know if any of you follow him. He's a big functional movement guy. He loves this, the hip matrix.
Billy, is your back leg, when it's back, is it straight?
Yes. Yeah, straight.
Okay, and the whole foot's on the ground?
Yes. Yeah, heel's not coming off.
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
Okay.
Do one more. Okay, then let's switch and we'll hit the other side. So down and back. It's up and out. So yeah, you should feel a good calf stretch in that back leg. Feel your hips opening up. This might feel like a strength training exercise for some of you. Might get your quads working a little bit. 3 more. Really try to rotate back into that too. Don't just step behind you. So that's going to make you focus on more internal rotation of that front leg. Couple more. Starting to get a quad burn. Okay, last one. Ooh, keep your balance. All right, there we go. Good. And push back into that. All right, last little stretch. Okay, stand up, shake it out. And then you can always go back through too and hit some of the stuff that you're a little tight right now. You could go back, foam roll, all those different spots that we did. So we did quads, hips, and thoracic spine. Any questions about what we just did? Anything from today? No? Okay. So yeah, that was just one version of putting some things together. Next week, I'm going to put some things together and I'm going to throw in, it'll be a little bit more new stuff than today. Today was just kind of putting everything together just for our first little overall session. And next week, I think I'm going to add a couple things too. And we'll hit some more calf stuff. We'll hit some knee stuff, some hip, all that. All right, no questions?
No, thank you very much, though.
Thank you.
All right.
That's
No
great.
problem. Have a good weekend, everybody.
That was
Thank
really
you.
good.
You too.
So
Thanks.
much.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Have a good weekend.